The developer blocked my tractor access, so I rented my land to a piggery. Have you ever had someone so powerful try to force you off your own land? Well, that's exactly what happened to me. And by the time it was over, the luxury housing project next door was worth millions less. All because of a few hundred pigs. 3 years ago, I inherited 20 acres of farmland from my father. It wasn't a huge estate, but it was enough to grow crops and make an honest living. My tractor accessed the fields through a dirt lane that had existed for decades. Then a property developer arrived. His company bought the land next to mine and announced plans for a luxury housing community. Fancy homes, private parks, and buyers. At first, I welcomed the development. New neighbors meant new opportunities. But everything changed when construction began. One morning, I drove my tractor toward my access lane and found a steel fence blocking the entire entrance. I thought it was a mistake. It wasn't. The developer claimed the lane crossed land he had purchased. According to him, I no longer had the right to use it. I showed him old maps. I showed him records. I even showed him photographs, proving the lane had been used by my family for over 40 years. He didn't care. "Take it up with your lawyer," he said with a smile. For months, I fought back. Lawyers, surveyors, county offices. Meanwhile, my crops suffered because getting equipment into the fields became a nightmare. Every time I drove past the construction site, I saw giant billboards advertising peaceful country living. Peaceful for everyone except me. Eventually, my attorney discovered something interesting. Although the access dispute would take time to resolve, there was another piece of land I owned that bordered the developer's future neighborhood. A narrow strip running directly alongside the expensive homes being marketed to wealthy families. The land was perfectly legal to use for agriculture. Any type of agriculture. That's when I got an idea. Instead of leaving the land empty, I leased it to a local pig farmer, a very successful pig farmer. Within weeks, hundreds of pigs occupied the property. The smell arrived shortly afterward, and it traveled far. Potential homebuyers would tour the model houses and suddenly notice a powerful odor drifting across the neighborhood. Sales agents tried everything. Air fresheners, closed windows, fancy landscaping. Nothing worked. The pigs didn't care about marketing brochures. Soon, complaints started flooding the developer's office. Buyers canceled reservations. Property values stalled. Online reviews mentioned the smell repeatedly. The developer was furious. He came to my house demanding that I remove the pigs. I calmly explained that the piggery was operating legally on private agricultural land, the same way he had calmly explained that my blocked access lane was supposedly his right. For the first time, his confidence disappeared. A few weeks later, his lawyers contacted mine. Suddenly, they wanted to negotiate. Suddenly, they were willing to discuss historical access rights. Suddenly, they became very interested in finding a solution. After several meetings, we reached an agreement. The fence came down. My tractor access was fully restored. The developer paid my legal costs, and the agreement guaranteeing my access was permanently recorded with the county. Only after everything was signed did I end the piggery lease. The smell vanished. The housing development recovered, and my farm returned to normal. A few months later, I watched new residents move into their beautiful homes. Most of them never knew how close the entire project came to disaster, but the developer knew. Every time he drove past my farm, he remembered an important lesson. Never underestimate someone simply because they work the land. Power isn't always about money. Sometimes it's about patience. Sometimes it's about knowing your rights. And sometimes when someone tries to block your path, the smartest response isn't to fight harder, it's to find a completely different route to victory. Because no matter how powerful your opponent seems, there's almost always a way forward for those who refuse to give up.